Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, you may have noticed this is a new series. It is called Prototype, where we are actually going to be experimenting with all sorts of materials, processes, and techniques that may be able to benefit you and your projects at home. So this is for designers, for engineers, for kids who like tinkering, for adults who like tinkering. And today we're going to be talking about cardboard. Honestly, one of the best materials out there. So let's head over to my workbench and I'll tell you a little bit more and we'll whip up a prototype. All right, so we have a couple different types of cardboard or cardboard-like materials. So first off, we got our typical normal cardboard. Look at it, it's beautiful. I love this stuff. All right, next we have just a single ply cardboard. This is something that's less common. I actually haven't really seen it at all in the States, maybe because I just didn't really look for it. But I found it a lot more frequently here in Europe, which is pretty cool. We have one of my favorites and a recent addition to like my arsenal. This is actually hex cardboard or honeycomb cardboard. And I'm sure there's plenty of other names out there. I'd love to hear them if you would like to leave them in the comments. I can't do this. Below. So this is actually a paperboard, both sides, and then different like cardboard pattern that is vertically cut into the inside of those boards. Really, really hard stuff, really strong. I love this stuff, and I'll talk about some prototypes that I've made with this as well as the rest of these materials. Another material that's really great is paperboard. We also have tubes. I'm very familiar with these. These are technically papercore or paperboard. And last but not least, we have pulp mold, which is just recycled paper products that have been chopped up, put in water, and then put into a mold. Just to keep the video short, I'm only going to talk about 3 of these materials that I personally like using a lot more. So first and foremost, your standard cardboard. It is so nice. I love this stuff so much. Great thing about this is it is just so common. It's everywhere. But some of the prototypes that I've made from this is something like, I don't know, a camper trailer prototype, full scale in my bedroom. Yeah, I had this for almost a year sitting in my college bedroom. Next one, tubes. These things are so great. One, they're really strong, but they're just so much fun. As a kid, like, let's be honest, I played the didgeridoo on this all the time. Great stuff. And then last, like I said, the honeycomb cardboard is really great. It's just so strong, great to use. I actually currently am using this to keep my computer monitor lifted up off of my desk, so I have some space underneath it to be able to put my keyboard as well as some other things. So great material. Yeah, so just quickly, just some examples, and let's actually move on to the pros and cons of these materials and the other ones that we talked about before, and then we'll jump into making a prototype of a gaming controller. All right, so pros and cons. We've got so many different pros that come from cardboard. First and foremost, we all know it is cheap. It's also really, really easy to find. It's durable when used correctly, because obviously there's sometimes it's not durable and not very strong. It's very, very easily recyclable, which is really, really great, especially if you're wanting to keep costs down for you and for other people in your economy and your environment. It makes low and high fidelity prototypes. One of the great things about cardboard is that fact alone. So, I mean, you may have seen it earlier. I drew a little phone and a little app. It's not a great picture, but this could get a point across if this is something you're trying to show someone. Cut this out. There you go. You've got a little concept. But you can go from here to here. This is a prototype made almost completely out of cardboard or paper board. Really, really, really amazing. And this is something that professionals even do. So that's really something good to know. And last but not least, it is easy to use. It is very easy to use. The tools you see around here, that's really all you need to use this material. So let's jump into the prototype and get this guy, not this one specifically, but let's start making a game controller. First things first, we've got to sketch out some ideas. This is something that I know a lot of people have a hard time with. I mean, me as a designer, it's something that I struggle with, and it's what any designer struggles with, any engineer struggles with, is getting ideas out. And just sketching things is really a great place to start. So I'm really just going to throw out a couple ideas. I'm not going to do nearly as many as I would if I was doing like an actual product trying to work on, but we're just going to go for it. So I tried outlining him to make him stick out a little better. Probably shouldn't have done that, and I probably could have just zoomed in a little bit more. So, but as you can see, these aren't pretty. They're really not pretty, and I'm well aware of that. But that's fine. This is fine that this is just concepts being thrown out. This is something I want to get to make very, very clear is this is okay that you have ugly drawings. This is the idea phase, the prototyping phase. So let's choose one of these and let's just go for it. Just for the sake of making things a little bit simpler, I'm actually gonna go for the simplest one, which is gonna be that guy. Just kind of an old-fashioned kind of look with a few different features on it. Our nice little controller is referenced down here, and I'm actually gonna pull out the lineup we have for tonight. Some hex board. I also think it'd be actually really nice. This is actually just some wrapping actually from curtains that I had, but I think it'll actually work really nice. Normal cardboard, and then I might need a little bit of paper board. One last thing. We're also gonna use this tube. It's a little bit smaller than usual. I think it's from Saran Wrap. Love it. So, first things first, let's get this out and let's actually square things up and make this look a bit decent. First off, let's get the size. Let's figure out how big do we want this. This is a little bit too big for my taste, especially this small. We're not trying to make a oversized Nintendo Gen 1 controller. This is too small. Sorry, I say too small, too big. Too small. This is even a little bit too small. So let's just kind of go for it. Let's keep cutting this down until we can find a length we like. Also, before you use any of these, if you're a child or a kid, get your parents' permission. Don't be just going and grabbing knives. I have a nice scar right there for being stupid using one of these. Just as a disclaimer, get parental permission. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. All right, so get the rest of that off. So we're gonna get measurements on this guy. Might round things up a little bit. We got 13 centimeters by 7 centimeters, almost exactly, perfect. We said 13 by 7. So we're just gonna mark this right here. Okay, so that's first things first. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. Next thing, surface stuff. Now, so what I was actually contemplating with this idea was instead of having a trackpad, actually have a touchpad. And I think this would be great, this kind of velvety black paper. There we go. Let's put it about right there. Yeah, looking good. All right, so next thing's next. So let's just cut those guys in place. Now we've got our side buttons. We've gotten our screen. Now we just need our main buttons and then our like select and start buttons on the side. So for the buttons, this is one of the great things about cardboard is it compresses. It has springs. That's something that's great for prototyping. So we're actually gonna make the buttons out of this because you can actually have that pushback that you're gonna be normally having. So we'll just make a little circle. All right, next. I want to add this guy. I think these would be great for putting in the palms behind. So I'm actually going to cut this out and put it right behind it, but only doing half. I don't want to do the whole thing. So I'm going to cut it right there. Perfect. All right, so this was the ugly side. I just want to put these guys right there. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Let's just crop this off to the right here because we don't want this interfering with that. All right. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, I like that even better. Let's get some of this in. Give me your start stop buttons. So we're just gonna go like that. All right, and these guys are just gonna go on the side right here. what we're gonna do is let's first get these on, because I feel like these are gonna be a little bit tricky in general. And just glue it in. Yeah, right there. Let's get these guys next. Last but not least, the buttons. Oop, way too much glue. Also, another warning, hot glue guns are hot, so don't burn yourself. If you are younger and need parental supervision, definitely have it. That's what we got. We went from having scraps of free cardboard to a sketch that looked really crappy to this guy. Look at him. I mean, it's still not like amazing, but it's not bad. I actually would love this. This is great. This is really, really great. There's a couple things that we can see with this prototype already, pros and cons to this design. First off, pros. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty comfortable in the hand. The interface is lacking for sure, but in hand the shape pretty good. I'm actually really surprised at how well this came out. And this is going to be, if you're wanting to like move on to like 3D modeling or something, this is a great reference point for sizes in all sorts of directions for getting dimensions. And I use these all the time with calipers to actually get things modeled correctly and scaled to what I want. I actually really like this. I'm not sure how well I'd like it actually playing, but the feel, this material, this black material, velvety material is actually pretty darn close to what I would imagine a finger pad or finger pad to feel like. The buttons, because they're a little springy, because it's cardboard, it's kind of a nice little touch to actually have a little bit of that tactile feel to it. We got little buttons on the side here. Also would be more of, I envision a clicky hard button, which is a little bit similar. There are definitely some issues though. You can see that these need to be rounded and cleaned up a little bit. The ergonomics isn't quite what I would like. It's comfortable, but it could definitely, you can see it just as I hold it right here, these finger buttons are a little bit off. My thumbs are already up here and everything's down here. So definitely some things to work on, but this is something done very quickly, very, very cheaply, and we can make tons of these iterations of the same model or of any of these other sketches or future sketches we want to do. But that is it. I am so happy with this. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And I would love to hear any requests for other materials, other techniques. I have a couple lined up, but I really would like to expand on this series and see where it takes us. So thanks again for watching. Keep prototyping, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.